Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Cleburne. And we're standing inside of the Airbnb cabin rental. The walls are going up. They're not quite done yet. And as you can see, I created a thing there. I'm pretty happy with that. And then where the paneling is, there'll be cord around there. And then there's trim work going right along this part of the wall, all the way till you get to this wall. And this wall was something that I came up with, and I really like it. I'm very happy with it, but I gotta figure out, I can't just use like paneling. I mean, I could use spare paneling and put a trim work right there, but I wasn't sure I would like that. I wanted something different. I wanted these walls, there's 3 of them, to break up this paneling wall. So I went ahead and made this thing. I need something that's about 10 inches long by 33 inches across. And it doesn't look like it fits because it's a weird angle, but it fits. But anyway, I could do that. Or I thought maybe since we're going for that zen look, that relaxed look, that natural look, I thought, why don't we do some macrame? So let's go up to my crafts area and get out the maker monkeys and see what we can come up with to cover that space. So I have this macrame book, and I know how to do basic macrame. I actually taught that in school back in the 70s. So I know how to do several knots. Some of these knots, though, you know, are going to be new to me, like this horizontal knot here. It's going to be new to me, but the steps are right over here. It sounds pretty plain, straightforward. But the problem is this is only 20 inches. So I counted, and it's about 5 inches per diamond. So I'm going to need an extra 20 to 33. That's 13, 5. So I'm going to need an extra 3 diamonds. So I have to do a little math and get 3 extra diamonds. And then I don't need it that long because it's going to come up being like 33 inches long. I don't need it that long. I need it short. So I could stop it right after this little thing here, whatever you want to call that. And I'm not going to put all this fancy cotton work into it because I don't have all that fancy cotton. All right. Whew, let's see what we can do. Alrighty, so I have a plan. So each of these are about 5 inches long. So I need to add 15 extra inches, and they take 12 cords each. So I need to add 36 more cords. So instead of, I believe it was 48, I will work with 84 cords going across. And then I only need to go through steps 1, 2, 3, and hopefully 4. If after step 4, if this, right to here, right to this cord here is 10 inches long this way, then I can stop right here. And I don't have to go any farther. Okay. Figured that part out. So now all I got to do is cut my 84 cords. All right, and for me, the other part of this is I don't need it nearly this long. So instead of cutting 48 cords 17 feet long, I'm going to cut 84 cords, and I don't even need it at half. So I wouldn't even need 8 feet. I would need more like 5 feet at the most. Maybe 5 feet. Not even probably that much. I'm only going 10 inches. Okay. Let's see if I have enough cord to cut 84 cords roughly 5 feet long and attach them to the dowel. Oh, wouldn't you know it? So I'm using 5 mil cord, and I had to end up using 2 colors, which is kind of cool. This is tan and this is thatch. So that'll really match the theme down at the rental. But I only had 83 5-foot cords. I need 84. And you have to have 12 cords per diamond. So I found this matching color in 3 mil instead of, or no, this is probably 2 mil instead of 4 mil. So this is all 4 mil, and this is probably 2 mil. So I gotta sneak this cord in there somewhere. So I'm on the phone right now with my macrame guru and ask her, should I hide this cord in the middle or out on an end somewhere? Ugh, 83 of 84. Why me? All right, here's what we decided. I'm gonna cut 2 of the 2 millimeter links and hold it as if it's 1 4 mil and just kind of put it on the end. Since it's basically the same color, unless you get really close, I don't think it's going to be that obvious. But of course, 83 of 84 needed links. But I think I can just cut 2 2 mil links and pretend that it's 1 5 foot long 2 mil length and just put it right on the end. All right, now I got a larkspur on all 84 cords onto my stick, and I don't really have a good stick. Let me show you what I'm using. I don't have a 33-inch dowel right now, but I do have a broken piece of trim. Well, it's not even broken. I do have a piece of trim here, and although it's square, it's going to be a little bit wider than most dowels. The dowel I would need would be about that much in width, and this is like double that. But if I can hold it flat like this, I think it'll actually look good, and then make about a 10-inch, and each diamond is about 5 inches. So I think we can do this. I think I can. Think positive. And of course, BP thinks this is all about him. My biggest tip of the day: don't invite the cats in when you're doing macrame. Give me that cord. Beepers, you're bad. Give me my cord. All right, despite the help of the kitty cats, I'm attaching all 84 cords to this dowel using a lark's head. And I'm placing this different colored one about every 7th. As I get closer to all 84 cords, I can space out this different color. It's called thatch. These are tan and this is thatch. And then somewhere I'm going to hide the 2 2 millimeter cords in here and pretend that it's a 1 4 millimeter cord. All right, I have it roughly 33 inches long. I had to disperse the thatch color as evenly into this as I could get it. And then I had to make 2 fake it till you make it. So there's that one that'll be treated like it's 1 cord, and this one that'll be treated like it's 1 cord. It's actually 2. Okay, so each one of those will be a cord. Now we have to go through and divide up our 12 cords and make our diamonds. The main thing is to make sure that all your lark's heads are evenly spaced, that they're all lying flat, and that it all looks, really like consistent all the way through here. Yeah, this part sounds kind of complicated, but we're going to make a horizontal. So we have to have a working string with 6 inches of tail out on either side, all the way across. And we're going to do double half hitch knots with each of these working cords. So double half hitch knot on each of these working cords, all the way across. So the main thing with this knot is you don't want to leave any space between your lark's head and your next knot. You don't want any space in between. So keep it really tight. All right, in the end, I decided that I don't want to do those diamonds. I don't know, they're just kind of over the top and they're a little bit complicated and my hands are getting tired. So I'm just going to do good old-fashioned square knots. And I'll do them all the way across, and then I'll just crisscross them until I'm happy, and then we'll tie off the bottom with another one of these. So let's just make a series of square knots all the way across. Okay, I'm really liking the square knots, and they're just so much easier on my hands than those double half hitch knots. Those are horrible. So I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go back down to the rental and I'm gonna get an absolute measurement of exactly how far down we want this to go, and maybe we'll just do some alternating square knots to finish it out, because when I have to do this again, ooh wee, that hurts my hands. So yeah, I'm just gonna see exactly how long we want this, and then we're just gonna do our own pattern to finish this up. It's more fun and free that way anyway. So I like the way that that's looking. I love the freedom of macrame to just make patterns yourself, and you know. Anyway, I found 23 of these large wooden beads. They're real pretty brown. They'll hold at least 2 cords. I'm going to try to space them out evenly and add those to our project. Is it 4:20 yet? When it comes to adding beads randomly like this, you got to remember that the bead takes up X amount of space. So your next 2 knots, you have to leave X amount of space empty, or however many knots you're putting in between. So you have to think about, you know, you want all of your knots to end up even this way. So it means sometimes you have to leave blank spaces right in between, this way. Okay, I really like this, but I ain't gonna lie, it's taken forever with the alternating square knots to come up with 10 inches. I'm literally only at 4.5 inches. So I think what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna do just some square knots and make it come down. I gotta do one more row of alternating, because I have to, you see how when you alternate, you get loops. You got to get that loop back in there. You got to get that loop back in there. So I got to do one more row of alternating. Now I think we're just going to do a few inches of just plain square knots. We're not going to alternate them. Okay, so to speed it up, I tried doing half square knots, which gives you that twirling effect. I didn't like that. So then I did simple square knots, which just gives you a flat look. I didn't like that. I actually just kind of like it like this, because it's so even here and even here with the beads there. So I thought, why not just make the whole thing be, I don't know, 10, 11 inches, and just leave the bottom of it as fringe. I think that's going to be pretty good. So let's cut this bottom strings off to make it even fringe all the way across. Alrighty, there it is. So in the end, we ended up using 2 different colors of cord, even though we didn't plan on it. We threw some beads in there, even though we didn't plan on that. We changed up the pattern, even though we didn't plan that. And then we ended the whole thing with just fringe. None of it was really planned. I just let the universe have its way again. And we created something that we needed in a space that'll fit a space. And I think it's functional. I think it's pretty. And when I hang it up over that shelf wall down there at the rental, I'll let y'all see how it looks, and we'll give it one final trim to make sure everything's completely even. All right, guys, I hope this video inspires you that even though you may start off with one thing, it doesn't really matter which path you meander down, as long as you get to your goal in the end. Much, much love and light. Many blessings.